Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Joe of Mr. Joe Comments. The title of my video today is Our Lying Government. Basically, the government lies about everything. This applies to both sides of the aisle, both Democrats and Republicans. They lie because it's in their interest to lie, and it's not in their interest not to lie. I have one rule which I want you to write down and remember, and I'm not kidding. This is not a joke. If you see it on American TV, take just the opposite to be true. In other words, whatever you see on American TV, just the opposite would be the truth. 99% of the time. And I'm not kidding. Someone once asked me, is that a joke? No, it's not a joke. Once you know, as I've said in previous videos, excuse me, as I've said in previous videos, the news media, especially the TV and the newspapers, are complicit with the government in covering up certain things. Number one, looking at my trusty notes here, the war in Israel. Now tell me, when was the last time you ever heard a negative thing or a disparaging thing about Israel in the news? That's right, never. You never heard one critical word that the Israeli government did something wrong, they violated someone's rights, uh, they did something they shouldn't have done. Everything's 100% the fault of the Arabs. Now tell me, how likely is that? It's not very likely, is it? In World War II, Adolf Hitler invaded Poland and Russia. This was a case the world knew it was 100% Hitler's fault. But this isn't the case here. Number one, we see on TV, and I disagree. Bill O'Reilly said we should support Israel. I disagree completely and strongly. We should not support Israel if they don't want a peace agreement. Now, the Arabs have offered a peace agreement to Israel, the Arab Peace Initiative. I'm not going to go over every point. That's for a future video, but basically it consists of two things. Number one, if Israel would go back to its pre-1967 borders, get out of the West Bank, Gaza, and also the second point is a Palestinian state dwelling alongside of Israel with East Jerusalem as its capital. Israel has steadfastly refused to make peace on these issues. And in my opinion, and I'll make a future video about this too, in my opinion, this is completely useless to keep supporting a state which doesn't want peace. Last year we spent $22 billion in aid to Israel to be fighting the Arabs. This has been going on for the past 40, 50 years. During the 1970s, 1980s, guess what? They were at war with Iraq, Iran, and Syria, the same as they are today. This has been going on, and no other conflict that I'm aware of, even in the past 5,000 years of history, has gone on this long. Peace eventually came, and the nations realized we have to settle down and work some, but Israel doesn't want to. They have the United States pouring endless money for from our standpoint for a useless war. So if Israel doesn't want to settle down and talk serious peace with the Arabs, oh, and we are not going to tell the Arabs what they have to accept. They've made it very clear, these two strong points of pre-1967 borders and a Palestinian state. Until this happens, there isn't going to be peace. So we, the United States, should withdraw from Israel. And if Israel wants to fight the Arabs, go ahead. Let them get the money from someplace else. But for us, this is an endless sinkhole, a well, which we're just throwing money away on. for a useless war for what? What does the American citizen get out of it? Nothing. The second point they lie about, the government and TV, is the homelessness problem. Homelessness is increasing in this country and it's a national disgrace. We have billions, like I said, not only to support a useless war in the Mideast, the Arab Israeli conflict, but for other things too. The Biden administration spent 600,000 for an LGBTQ education and parade, and I don't know what state, some state near Romania. It wasn't Romania, but some state in that general vicinity. I can't think of the name at the moment. Excuse me a sec. And we don't have hardly anything, not a penny for people in this country. I know good people, men and a woman, who through no fault of their own, they lost their jobs. They're not alcoholics. They're not drug addicts. Alcoholism is a leading cause of homelessness, but this isn't the case here. And I'm shocked that it's hard for people to get help from HUD. That's the Housing and Urban Development. I actually went with one person, a foreigner, an immigrant, to HUD, and they look right at you in the eye and they lie. They tell you they're going to help in a few months, a year, and they don't. I have experience with the government, whereas many of you watching this, you're probably saying, how do you know this? They look you in the eye and they lie. They lie, 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 and they lie some more. So we should change the law. Every person watching this, you should get involved with state and local government and change and tell your representatives you want the law changed, that a person who's homeless should get help the next day or in a week, because many of them, they can't even wait another day. I don't know in which country it is, in Sweden, Denmark, people who apply who are homeless, who need help, they get help the very next day. They're assigned an apartment and they have shelter while waiting for their case to be brought up. Not so here. There are people waiting here 2 years, 3 years, and they're still not in. But we have money for every other useless endeavor on the planet. Useless wars, useless, what do you call it, transgender LGBTQ education in other countries. They can't pay for it on their own, and I don't know, it's a national disgrace, like I said. The third thing I wanted to bring up, oh, you hear on TV that the current conflict, why the Arabs are at war with us, is that they decided they wanted to go to war with us. This isn't true. In 1990, there's the Gulf War. George W. Bush Sr. wanted to invade Iraq, which was then under Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein had a dispute with his neighbor Kuwait in 1990. He felt that they were holding oil prices too low and he was losing money. He got the short end. So George W. Bush went on TV and lied. He said that the Iraqis had weapons of mass destruction. And the first time I heard that, I knew they didn't have nuclear weapons. And later on, several administration officials under George W. Bush admitted that they didn't want to use the terms nuclear weapons, but they used weapons of mass destruction instead, because they didn't want to say that, because they knew he didn't have them. But we went to war with him then, and then after that was over, we withdrew, and this led to the September 11th bombing, not bombing, but the September 11th, what do you call it, the Arab hijacking of the Twin Towers. We had no business being in Iraq or Saddam Hussein. In this war, we could have, if we wanted to, we could have covertly financed the Kuwaitis as we've done, but It was just incredible. The Russians and everyone else, and I'm not on Russia's side, they were just amazed that we started this war with Saddam Hussein in 1990. Later on, he was executed on December 30th, 2006. It was done by the Kuwaitis. A Kuwait council found him guilty of war crimes, but they were a puppet of the U.S. government, of course. And I don't know. It's just incredible. As citizens, and I'm going to be making future videos on this too, we have to get involved and get out, especially of the Mideast. If Israel doesn't want to make peace with the Arabs, we should wave goodbye. You're on your own and let European nations take it because, like I said, this is an endless sinkhole which we can't. We're pouring money down which we can't win. So let me see if there's anything else I wanted to bring up. That's basically my video for today. The news media, if you want the truth, even Sean Hannity on Fox News brought up, we weren't at war with the Arabs, but now they're at war with us. Well, since George W. Bush went on TV and lying and smirking and says, Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. Yes, we were at war with them and we gave them cause uh, to attack the Twin Towers. I'm not saying it was right what they did, but naturally, if you take one side, the other side is going to get involved. And we already have everything we want from the Arabs. We had a good relationship, we get oil, but there's no cause for us, like I said, to have done that with Iraq. We're becoming an expansionist nation, and we are not, like I've said in my videos, we are not the world's policemen. We can't right all the wrongs of the world. There are many dictators today, Kim Jong-un, China. We are not the world's judge and policeman where we're going, and we can't overthrow every dictator. And basically, American policy is all wrong. I was watching TV the other day where, as I make this video, of course, we bombed Iran's nuclear reactors. So, like I said, this can't go on where we're endlessly meddling in the Middle East. But basically, that's my video for today. The government, like I said, they no longer tell the truth. If you want the truth, you can find it, but it's not going to be from the national news media because they twist everything and pervert it to their own point of view. You see it through a lens they want you to see it through. And the Democrats, as I've said before, I'm going to make a video. No American worthy of the name should vote for this party. It's very parasitic and destructive. Anyway, that's my video for today. This is Mr. Joe signing off.